Step in the light where the movers be, talking that talk in the industry. Bartender, chefs, the late night beat, serving up stories with flavor and heat. From backstage drama to front of house flair, VIP nights and the people who care. So turn it up, get loose, be free. You know what time it is? Buck with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Buck Wit Me. But first, before we get everything kicked off, got to give a shout out to my sponsors, Live 21. That's that energy drink when you're out late at night getting lacquer up and you want to make sure you don't have a hangover. That's when you need to drink Live 21. And also got to give a shout out to Barstool also for sponsoring today's episode. Listen, it's your boy Buck Wit Me, and we're tuned in to Buck Wit Me show. And today's guest, listen, District 5. It's a heated competition right now. I've had a couple people on right now, and I got another one. Goes by the name of Darrell, Dudney.
That's it.
Did I say that right?
You got it.
How often do people mess up your last name?
Once a day. No, it happens every now and again. It's just even worse when it's your local news doing it to you.
Oh!
God damn it.
Oh! Not the local news.
Yeah.
There's only two of them.
I know. I'll keep that to myself this time, but the second time they do it.
I was going to say shout
back.
out who it was, but we're not going to do that. We're not
right.
going to do that. It happens. It happens. It's crazy to find out like you're born and raised from Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
I think I read correctly, third generation?
Second gen Tampa, third generation. That's business owner.
Okay.
But yeah, no, my dad and my uncle were both born here as well.
No doubt, no doubt.
So that side of the family, I get it.
You have a very unique past, and I have to ask this, and I'm sure you get this all the time. Your middle name is Ashley.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that just a little bit?
Yeah. So that was the deal between my mom and my dad, because my dad's middle name is Ashley. And my first name, Darrell, is actually my grandfather's name. So the deal was, fine, we can name him Darrell Ashley, but he's going to go by Ash. And Ashley was, historically, it was a men's name way back, and that transitioned into more of a unisex thing. But yeah, that was always the deal with them.
Right.
Is as long as we get to call him Ash, that's cool. Which was fine until kindergarten screwed up and put my actual first name on the table. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be that then. And I did that until high school.
Because I was going to say, I know kids had to mess with you, bro.
I mean, I grew up when it was all that Pokemon shit, man, and so fuck that show, dude.
Think about that.
Dude, I got nothing but good catch 'em all, man. What happens more, that my name gets screwed up or somebody gives me a fucking Pokemon reference? It's 50-50.
You're going to get one of those situations.
I know.
That's fucking dope. That's so fucking dope.
The cool people always give me the Evil Dead reference. That one I appreciate.
Not the evil side.
Yeah.
Come on,
But I don't need that Pokemon shit, man.
So should I call you Darrell? Called you Ash, Mr. Dudney?
Oh, please don't do Mr. Dudney. No. Ashley. There's a variety of profanities that get me to turn my head. So
Got you. I'm gonna stick with Ash.
that works.
Darrell is cool.
Yeah.
That's your name. But Ash is just like it flows.
That's what most people call
Nah,
me.
we're going with Ash today, ladies and gentlemen.
Cool.
Man, so it's crazy. Like I said, you have a dope background. You're running for the seat for District 5 for that particular area.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to definitely tap into that. But what I want to do is I want people to get to know you, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because if anybody watching the Buck Wit Me show right now, y'all were like, oh, he's one of the candidates. Let's see what he's all about. So let's start with this, because I have a background of music, hip hop, and so what's your favorite hip hop artist?
I mean, it's pretty hard to beat A Tribe Called Quest, man. Every time I put on the Low End Theory, that's just a front to back, skip no tracks.
Yep.
You know, it's good. I go down to the Y in Tampa Heights a lot, and I put on my fair share of them and just, hit the court for an hour till
Right.
the album runs out, and then
Okay.
So they're up there for me for sure.
So what is it like a relaxing moment from you when you're not worrying about retail or, running for a District 5 seat?
Dude, I was just talking about this. Like, if I get to wake up tomorrow and I can do anything,
Right.
Blank slate, no responsibilities. Disappearing into the swamps with a camera is like my thing. Like, I go down to the Everglades a lot and just disappear in there with a couple cameras and just do my thing.
Okay, you're not scared of the alligators? Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Buck Wit. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe on all platforms, especially on YouTube. I need you right now, man. So like, follow, subscribe. Click, click. You hear it? Click, click.
Or no.
See, that's a true Floridian right there. When a person tell you, no, I'm from Texas. I ain't trying to go in no body of water where I feel there's going to be some alligators. You talking about going to the swamps.
I get in the water with them on occasion.
Have you ever been attacked?
Uh-uh.
Have you ever came close?
Not particularly.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Damn. It's just Braveheart over here, y'all. So how long you been doing photography?
I've been doing that since I was old enough and allowed to hold a camera. That's
Dope.
just been one of those things that's just always been something I was really drawn to and
Yeah.
into. So, yeah, forever.
Anything, because you have this collective look about you. So I feel that spiritually wise, you look like you play instruments or you do something funky.
Yeah, I mean, aside from diving under alligators to photograph them, I do my fair share of conflict photography, photographing a lot of protests, riots, and stuff like that. But yeah, and then musically, I've been a long time, rock and roll,
Right.
blues musician, stuff like that.
No doubt.
So
Dang, you're deep into the game.
I am. I can't help it.
So photography, what's probably like one of your best shots that you took in the swamps? Because it's always about those moments that you guys get to capture.
Yeah. I mean, the first time that I got in the water with an alligator was pretty cool,
Right.
because I've got a couple underwater housings and units for that, and I threw on a mask and snorkel, and it wasn't super deep, but it was just deep enough that I could kind of get on the floor and shoot up at it with the sun coming down
Right.
around it. So that one's always a really special one for me. Then there's some other cool ones that I've snapped, but that's probably the top with that one.
Do you so hold on? So what you do in the swamp? Do you ever travel to go do like nature type of stuff, or you just that moment?
Yeah, I've been to French Polynesia a couple times. It's one of the best like shark diving sites in the world. So I went
Okay.
down there and swimming around with sharks a couple times. I go down to the Keys a fair amount, but yeah, I mean I've gotten around for wildlife stuff. The French Polynesia was probably the best as far as being out of the country in nature.
Right, got you,
Yeah.
got you. With the music situation, I know you said Trap Called Quest. What instruments?
These days I'm playing more bass than anything, but I've been playing guitar since I was 11. I can play a little bit of everything. I mean, I've messed around on piano a bit. I can play drums. I get around
Okay,
the circuit a little.
now you do. Well, hold on, what kind of family you in? 'Cause
How deep you want to go?
Hey, I don't want to go that deep.
No, they're cool. No, my dad and uncle used to play in a band together way back, and then my uncle was a touring musician for a long time. So
Wow.
I remember when Raymond James first opened up, and I was a little kid, and his band got to play outside the stadium,
Yeah.
on like one of the I think the season openers or something like that. And I just remember being a little kid, and I'm just like, I want to do what Uncle JJ does, because he's like just jumping around playing this badass rock band. And I just, from that point on, it was always like, that's what I'm doing.
That's dope.
So
That's dope, bro. See, that's why I love talking to people that are born and raised in Tampa, because you get to hear these true stories.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like, you remember when Ray J got built,
mm-hmm.
and when the Tampa first got their football team, the
Yeah,
Bucks.
I mean, I was just old enough to have my dad take me to some games in the old sombrero too. So, yeah.
Dog it. I admire you so much right now. I mean, being from Texas, I'm a Cowboys fan, so we ain't gonna talk about that.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Don't do that. It's the crazy part, I'm already getting beat up on the socials. I'm like, I haven't started talking trash yet.
No, man.
And we're not even in the same division. I'm
There's
like,
two things people love to do on social media right now, which is say release the list and shit on the Cowboys, man. That's it.
Getting it full fold. Hold on. So truly, you're a Bucks fan, of course.
Yeah.
All right. So how you feel about the Rays moving to Tampa, if that happens?
Well, it feels like more of a win than an if. Assuming that deal goes through,
Right.
which there's plenty of time for them to blow that. But I mean, I think it's cool. You know, I'm for it if it's done in a way that does not totally disrupt the community. You know, and you know, the last thing we need. I just said this the other day, but I was like, we don't need the next Oakland A's
Right.
relationship in
Gotcha.
Tampa. You know, so I've been looking into like how Minnesota handles. You know, the Minnesota Twins in Minneapolis have like a phenomenal relationship. They've got this awesome. It's the most sustainable stadium in all of Major League Baseball,
Okay.
which is really cool. So. Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes down to really clear and, you know, community forward thinking on that project. And personally, I'd love to see that stadium go up over in Sulphur Springs.
Oh,
It's
really?
been like, yeah,
So the reason, and I said we're going to get a little bit deeper in the District 5 conversation, and the reason I brought up the stadium is because that's going to be within the District 5 district.
yeah, more than
And I think that would be great for the economy. I think that's a plus.
yeah. Again, done properly, you know, I totally agree. You know, I know there's a lot of talk about putting them in Ybor. Like, don't get me wrong, like a view of the harbor would be
Right.
amazing, but Ybor doesn't really need any more help right now. Quite frankly, they should focus on filling up the shops that they got empty down there and whatnot. So you know, Sulphur Springs has just been so just woefully neglected for so long. And as much as I love having a beer at that dog track, you know, and hanging out, like, you know, that spot would be pretty killer for a very intelligently laid out stadium. You know, you wouldn't ideally be displacing anybody because
Right.
you've got all that room between the interstate.
You
You know,
do.
and it's you know, it's not like some of these other spots where you're, you know, that TBX situation
Yeah.
where you're putting notices on the door. So, um, yeah, and that seems like the smart and the right thing to do to give that neighborhood a much needed like lift.
That actually, like hearing you say that actually makes sense
Yeah.
because, like I said, the property is already there.
Yep.
That'll actually help out Seminole Heights even more, bring up that economy, and then you're not far from USF, so
Yeah.
it's a nice in between.
You got a lot of room to kind of build out the road infrastructure over there too if you
Yeah.
need to, you know,
And you would,
you know, it you know, I kind of actually I looked on Google Maps and I kind of did like a comparison to the fingerprint of Tropicana right now and what that would kind of match up to over there. And,
okay.
you know, mind you, it's just flat parking lot for days over there, so maybe we do that a little smarter
Yeah.
in Tampa. But it's awfully similar, especially when you think that you've got the River Tower Park on the other side, which, you know, technically you could, you know, open up for some parking and stuff like that. Thankfully, they're also getting Sulphur Springs Park, you know, just south of that property, finally approved for all those renovations and fix up, which is cool.
And let's keep it real. Right, maybe a quarter mile away, there used to be a Kmart. That whole lot is wide open, so you could turn that into a nice little.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is as far as I'm not familiar with who owns it, and you know, there's always some. I mean, look at how 717 acts in this
Yep.
city too. So I'm not going to get my hopes up as if some other, you know, private landowner is suddenly going to be
Right.
like, oh yeah, of course, you know. So, but we can figure it out.
No doubt. All right, so you're tall as hell, bro. You got to tell me, did you play basketball or football?
I played soccer. I was a goalkeeper, and I played an awful lot of soccer. I played some like rec basketball. You know, I didn't get competitive with that too much. And then I kicked and I punted
Okay.
in high school too. Once got labeled the hardest hitting kicker in the history of Armwood High School. That was pretty cool.
One time for Armwood. If you go to Armwood, what up, what up, what up? Hold on. So did you ever try to go to college off the football or just?
No,
I mean,
I
you had a
thought
foot.
about it.
You had
Yeah.
a foot, so
Yeah, you know, that college conversation was obviously, you know, it's always there. It didn't feel like the right thing for me.
right.
You know, if I had gotten like a real badass offer, then I probably would have gone. You know, that didn't come up, and I wasn't too keen on taking out a shit ton of student loans and for again, and especially at that time, I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Right.
So it's like, do I take out that money just to like roll the dice and assume I'll figure it out? Like, you know, that would have sucked. Would have been a problem.
Oh yeah, paying back
Yeah.
college loans. It was funny that we were talking off mic about COVID and being that you've seen the city literally grow the way it's growing. How do you feel that when COVID hit Tampa, do you feel that it pushed us quicker than what we should have been doing?
Development wise?
Development wise, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean everybody was broke.
Right.
You know, like there's just no way around it. So yeah, that was a huge catalyst, and just shit getting bought up.
Right.
And I mean, mind you, I think the stats like 45% of the city is renting, tenants. So yeah, no, that was a huge problem, and a great chance to be a predatory prick with a bunch of money in your pocket to buy up single family homes. So
And they did that. How did it affect you though?
the pandemic,
Yeah.
massively. My family's tuck shop, we announced we were going out of business. My entire income was either like arts based, like through producing stand up shows or performing stand up or playing music or hosting events. So all that was gone.
Right.
My backup had always been, I'd worked in the service industry, and then, that was always my safety net. Like, hey, if everything else falls apart, you can always get a bartending job.
Right.
Not during a plague, you can't. So yeah, that was a whole lot of just hanging out in the backyard with the dog, drinking, doing drugs, and just teaching it how to do things. Like, what the fuck else am I gonna do, man? So, but yeah, that ended up being though how I wound up taking over the family business, because it was we literally had announced we were shutting down for good, and I said, well, hey, if we're doing that, you mind if I get a shot at it? My dad threw me the key, said, good luck, dumbass, you got to be out of the building by the end of the week. I'm like, all right. So yeah, we pulled that one together by the skin of our teeth.
Wow.
I took it over with about $2,000 in the bank, $5,000 in upcoming obligations, and about a 548 credit score. So here we are, though.
But the crazy part, I'm laughing, but I'm laughing how beautiful the story is, because your dad had already gave up. You're like, yo, let me just see what I can do.
Yeah, what's the worst thing? I'm poor with a bad credit score? I'm already that. Let's see if I can do it with a bunch of tuxedos,
So okay, I gotta ask, how did you flip it though?
We donated a shit ton of stuff out of that place, just because we had to get out. Like, they were coming in and kicking us because we hadn't made $1 in like 6 months at that point or something like that. So I loaded everything up into I found 2 10x30 storage units, and we built racks on the inside, and I took whatever inventory I could fit in there and like the essentials, and I put it all up in there. My partner, she had a plant shop in Seminole Heights, and I took over the upstairs, and it was just 3 little mannequins and 1 little rack that I could like hang people's stuff on, and a sewing machine downstairs. And so I just started operating, doing that. Figured I'd maybe do like 10 rentals a month or something. It started becoming 10 a week really quick.
Right.
So I just kind of saved up as much as I could. Got really lucky finding a property that used to be a tuxedo shop that didn't make it through COVID, basically, down on Kennedy and Lois. So they already had racks installed. They had dressing rooms built.
Right.
So, and I had just enough money to drain every last dollar I had to like get the deposit down, pay first month and get in there and start building out. And yeah, busted my ass, until it finally turned around, and, killing it lately. I mean, I think this year we're up like 20% year to year again. So like we've been seeing numbers come through that place we hadn't seen in probably 15 years, and it was a lot of reworking it and remodeling it, and, kind of getting with the times a little more, ahead of the times when we could. But yeah, just a lot of creative business solutions.
It's to hear that story. It's definitely gets you motivated, because you have a lot of people that was in that situation and just gave up. Like, they could not see the light to save their ass.
Yeah.
But for some reason, your dad gave up, but you just like, I saw it, and look where you're at right now.
Yeah. No, and I mean, the amount of effort it was gonna take, he was already like on the brink of being able to retire anyway, and it didn't add up for him.
Makes sense.
Which, I totally get. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I mean, it was either way, it was a risk. I mean, I remember when I finally got everything out of that store, and I was just looking in this storage unit, and I remember just saying, I was like, well, I either have a pile of gold or a pile of dog shit, and there is no in between. Because like, that's it. Either it's going to work, because that's right. You couldn't sell these used clothes. Nobody was buying anything. Still, nobody's really buying that stuff. So it's only worth it if you know what you're doing and how to do it, you know. And we're coming up on 50 years now of being in business. So like a lot of those hurdles were learned for me, you know, and taught to me. But yeah, it was still, I mean, it was a huge risk either way.
Right.
You know, there was no guarantees in any of that.
That's a dope story. That's really dope. I got to give you props for that, bro. I mean, damn. Swag it out.
Yep.
All right, so listen, let's get into this District 5 conversation.
Yeah.
How many people are running for that seat?
14.
It's a lot of motherfuckers.
Yeah.
For one seat.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. We all thought wrong that it would thin out when qualifying week came up.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't. We actually added one more person none of us had seen, because a lot of us are doing these forums together, and you know, for the most part, everybody's showing up to most of those. And then one day you're like, oh shit, 14 just showed up, and here he is, you know, and you're just like, God damn it, like, it's crazy.
I've noticed a lot of people that's running for that position. A few people that I do know are not from Tampa. Don't have the roots like you do. What makes you stand out for this position more than anybody else that you're going against?
Oh man, I mean, my favorite answer is that I don't really want to do it. Like, if we're being real, it's not a fun job, you know. It's an act of service to your community.
Right.
So, anybody who says that they really want it or seems like really excited to get in there has no idea what a fucking nightmare, you know, doing that kind of shit is. So
hold up. What is that position is all about? Like, what is the things that you guys are going to be doing for that position?
Well, number one is spending your entire Thursday getting reamed by the public down at your city hall meeting.
Okay.
So that's always fun. I mean, the bulk of it is, the way I see it, is whoever gets in there, the best one for it will treat it as the position of a representative, which means to represent your constituents in your district. And, you know, I've always said to be a liaison between the community and City Hall. So I don't see it as, you know, this isn't about my gripes with the city,
right,
and stuff like that. It's about what do we need to see different and to see focused on. And then, you know, you go in there and it's equal parts advocating for your district when it comes to, you know, the budget, voting on the other resolutions and ordinances that come up in accordance with what you want. But also, the one thing I'd like to see more people doing is start drafting their own resolutions, if not ordinances, to present. You know, we shouldn't just be acting like we're going to go in there and just have to agree on what everybody else is saying. Start coming up with the things that will make change in this neighborhood that you can put on paper, and you can put your idea out there and make it rationally, morally sound enough, and enough budget sense that the other 6 people on council with you would look like fools to not agree, you know, and vote on it. So that's the long form answer, of kind of how I see it.
Now, what are some of the changes you would make that you noticed in District 5 if you was to get that seat?
My big thing is I'd like to see more equity across the district. You know, the favoritism has gotten a little out of hand as far as, you know, Ybor City, Channel Side, downtown. They're fine, you know, but there's still an awful lot of neglect, you know, specifically in the East Tampa area and Sulphur Springs.
Right.
You know, I'd rather we built up these neighborhoods, got them on a more level playing field. So then whatever we do want to applies more evenly and broadly to the entirety of the district. Would be my first thing. You know, small business support, trying to streamline a very difficult to navigate city hall are all things that are in there. I'm big on environmental issues as well. So there's a ton of stuff that the city could be doing, you know, a little wiser.
I hope I'm not putting you on the spot when I ask you this question. When they put the bricks down in Ybor City, like I said, I go there all the time. I felt that was a waste of money. Because if I remember correctly, did Ybor already have bricks back in the day?
Yeah, and then I think that was the thought. And, I hope I'm accurate in what I'm saying, but yeah, it used to be brick.
Okay.
And then they made it a perfectly paved street, and then they decided, hey, what if we tore up that perfectly paved street and made it harder for people to skateboard down 7th Avenue, and more difficult for high heels to just cross the street.
That's all I'm saying.
In a modern society.
I'm just saying.
And it's like, yeah, dude,
on.
it's not fucking Savannah, man. Like, we got enough brick around town. You didn't have to do that.
And I just felt it was a waste of money. And when I saw that happening, I was just like, y'all could have did better with the situation.
Again, and it's this like pseudo wanting to like cling to culture shit that drives me nuts about it too, because that's to the city, that is them saying, look at us, we're Tampa,
Right.
instead of doing Tampa shit.
Come on, dog.
Like, yeah, let's make sure that our facade looks more like 1905 Ybor City, but let's not worry about making sure that we're supporting our artists in Ybor City,
Right.
or the art culture. I mean, there was a city council meeting years ago I went to, and God, I didn't realize what a red flag this was. But one of those ding dongs up there said, because it was all about Ybor, and it was, I mean, Tampa really does need an arts district, and maybe we should look into like a place like Drew Park and develop an arts district. I'm like, you fucking have an arts district. What are you talking about, man? And lo and behold, here we go, the fucking Fat Tuesday instead of a Big Easy. God forbid.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I love Fat Tuesday.
I know. Apologies to Fat Tuesday for throwing you under the bus.
No,
but...
we're not throwing you guys under the bus. Like, we love Fat Tuesday. It was just like Big Easy was already doing what it needed to do.
Yeah. Imagine a New Orleans bar, but this one. Okay.
Oh my God. I'm loving this conversation with you, bro. This is what I'm talking about. See, this is the thing that you guys need to realize. You want to vote somebody in that you feel that's going to bring the community together and bring some ideas to the community at the same time. And actually, I would say relate to the people. And bring it
That
out.
would be nice.
But how do you bring all that together and have everybody else that have their seat now and be like, hey, because I feel like some of the people in that seat are older, so they're not going to relate to what a guy or woman at the age 40 compared to somebody being 50 that's married and don't go out.
Right. I mean, that's the battle, man. It's like, how do you inject worldly experience into somebody that just doesn't have it?
Right.
And that's kind of the issue. A lot of people hide in their little corners of the world or in their corners of the city and don't go out and don't experience the rest of it. You
Right.
know? I mean, I struggle to think of anybody who's on that city council who has stepped foot into Crowbar for an Old Dirty Sunday or gone into Res or like participate in the art walk that they do and gone to some of these, the seedy parts as they see it, but it's like
Right.
to us, it's all the cool shit.
Yeah.
Let alone popping in all the other corners of town. So, I don't know, man. My big thing is just, you got 14 candidates in this field, and you can vote somebody who's got their mind in the right place. There's a handful. You can vote for some people who have their heart in the right place. There's a few. And then you've got, at least a couple options where I think their heart and their head is in the right place.
Gotcha.
I personally don't really give a shit about experience. If experience is what got us to where we are now, then maybe we try a new experience. Again, you're a representative, and you're going to have access to, a lot. You pick anybody who gets in there, their legislative aid has got to be, somebody who understands how that system works and can help you. And that was something that, the late Councilwoman Gwen.
Yeah.
She didn't go in with a ton of experience. She went in with a killer legislative aid, so you can really navigate a lot in this when you got the right people around you, and if you're willing to listen to the people
Right.
around you, and realize you're never going to be the smartest one in the room for this kind of stuff. Just do the right fucking thing.
So what I want you to do before we wrap this thing up, I want you to look into that camera right there. And I want you to tell people the reason why they should vote for you for the District 5 seat. Hey, it's your boy Buck Wit, and we're tapping in with one of our sponsors right now, and we will be getting back to the conversation that I'm having. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, if you're ever in the nightlife, entertainment, and you're drinking all that liquor, Live 21 is what you need in your life, man. And on top of that, if you're in the gym and you need some extra energy, you need some Live 21. The reason why we got two different bottles because they have two different flavors. So make sure you check out Live 21, either in the gym or in the club or as your daily drink. It's your boy Buck Wit. Let's get right back.
Don't do it. You can. Don't get me wrong. I'm on there. I don't know. I don't know why you would vote for me. Quite frankly, Nia Young's killing it, dude. Look up that chick, man. She answers all the same things that I do, just better. So what the hell, man? No, fuck that. Vote for Nia.
Ash! Oh my God. You a hot mess, bro. Listen, I'm going to salute to anybody who's running for the position. Like, I live in St. Pete, so I can't vote. But, like, so far, a lot of you guys that I've spoken with, you guys have your own theory of what you guys want to do. And y'all are moving in the positive direction.
Yeah.
I just think you guys being younger, you guys understand what the city really needs.
Yeah. Well, and I love too, it's funny that I love that, I don't know that I can usually get along with, 7 people in a room out of 14. But for the most part, again, there's at least 13 of us who consistently show up to these things. So those 13 of us really have a good rapport and get along, which is cool. I thought for sure this was going to get a lot uglier out there and all that. But I mean, there's been a healthy amount of respect all across, which is awesome. So that's one thing I really do appreciate, that in that sense, at least we've all got kind of a Tampa first kind of mindset when it comes to stuff.
All right, so I got these deck of cards. Well, not deck. Sometimes got at Chick-fil-A, Chatter Time. Y'all don't sponsor me if y'all want to. But it's interesting some of the things that they have on here. So I'm just going to have you pick a card out, and then I'm going to flip the question. All right, there you go. All right. All right, what does it say?
Name who likes to watch movies.
Okay, hold up. So this is what we're going to do.
Ages 1 to about 102. I think 103 you stop. Go ahead.
All right, so we'll flip that little question of what they asking. Anybody that's going the opposite, the person that you run against for the seat, who you think goes to the movies a lot?
Fran Tate.
Fran, huh? She look like a movie person.
I think she digs hitting the cinema. Enjoying her a good rom-com, man. Fran, you seem like a rom-com.
Okay. What type of movies you like going to?
I mean, the good ones? I don't know, man. It's tough. I love me a good some of my favorite movies, a lot of David Fincher stuff.
Okay.
Seven, Fight Club, those kind of movies are always good. I mean, Jurassic Park's my favorite of all time.
Did you like the new one?
I'm not too keen. I haven't watched the newest one yet, but I love the classics, the good writing stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It's tough. Good writing is what I like to see. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see good writing and some good cinema.
You look like a type of person who liked the movie Seven, one with Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah. That There Will Be Blood I just rewatched again, and Daniel Day-Lewis's hat in that is fucking killer. They got a hat shop. I'm like, that thing's badass. That again, great movie, minimal dialogue, not a crazy score, just fantastic writing.
Right. Listen, guys, make sure you guys vote for Ash. He's running for District 5 in Tampa, 813. If you stay in the area, he's saying not to vote for him. I'm saying just give him a try.
I mean, make up your minds. Don't listen to me. Do what you want. That's the point. It's freedom of the vote.
Ash, thank you so much.
You got it.
This has been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Welcome to the Buck Wit Me show. We are out, and we appreciate you for tapping in. So make sure you like, subscribe, and always give me feedback. We're out.
Let's go.